Hi, my name is Virender Jeet, and I'm the CEO of the company. And I've been in the company for the last 30 years, right from the founding team of the company. And I'm very proud of building this company as one of the first leading B2B product companies out of India and now having global presence. And part of the journey has been met, but there's a long way to go. And our aspiration is to make it the first $1 billion software product company out of India.
So when you're talking about a $1 billion software company, what are the products or the solutions that are in your portfolio currently, which you offer for all the markets?
So we are a very focused company. We focus on kind of a portfolio which is called enterprise content management, business process management, and customer communication management. We are very focused on these three product categories, and the global addressable market is more than $20 billion in just these three categories. So that's not the market size is not a challenge. We are very excited about current products and the products which we are launching. Our recent launch of Newgen One is a product which we are really thinking can really help customers do a large amount of digital transformation with the cost advantages they want. In many markets, I think cost is a very important point of when you're trying to do automation at scale and really do automation beyond your primary use cases. That's our product works because combining a lot of important technologies which are going into digital use cases, we have combined them all together and presented a nicely knit product. And with that, the advantage on ROIs to customers is going to be huge, and we are very excited about the product. But beyond these products, as we go into our core verticals, we also have vertical products in terms of where we are extending what we call product accelerators. Banking, we are very excited. We launched trade finance last year. I think some of the marquee Indian customers and global customers are their customers. We've got 5 to 7 customers just in a very short span. There's another line of business we think which will accelerate our growth. But beyond banking, products like digital lending, collections, insurance collections, what you call e-file management, these are some of the other vertical products which will accelerate our growth.
So currently, if we will come to the vertical part later, but if we look at geographically, what is the contribution from different geographies, and within geographies, what sort of trend or traction you see?
So we are pretty diversified, and we are, but still a company which drives a lot of business from the emerging markets. India is roughly 40% of our business. Middle East roughly around 30%. US does roughly around 25% of our business, and with APAC a smaller territory around 10 to 15% of business. So it is pretty diversified. And in these geos, India is a fast growing market. I think the kind of investments which are happening in India in digital, especially in the core vertical of banking, is driving our growth rate. Middle East, which has been a strong market historically for us, a lot of countries out there are trying to disconnect from oil economy and aggressively investing in other arms of economies, which is driving the growth out there. Saudi is one of the markets which I can name is typically really a big market, and I think we think the potential out there is great. APAC is a combination. The part of APAC which we call is typically Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia. That's where we focus on. Some of these again territories are more like emerging markets, high growth areas where either it's underserviced and now the servicing is happening, or digital is trying to really upgrade their citizen servicing. So all these three markets are right now growth markets for us. US is typically, we are pivoting that market. We are trying to realign our strategies. We have drifted from smaller bank account to slightly larger bank account. It's a growth market right now, but it's not growing at the same pace as India and Middle East for us. But I think in next 3 4 years, we expect Europe and US and Australia subsidiaries to be the growth drivers as the revenue of the company keeps on increasing.
And what is the current top line of the company in the last fiscal?
Last financial year, we did roughly around total income around 1,000 crores.
1,000 crores. So roughly your India business will be about 400 crore, and out of that 400 crore, approximately, if you can take us through the vertical wise breakup.
See, the vertical split around for us, banking and insurance combined, which is the largest segment, is roughly around 70% of our business. So this is across all geos. It's very similar. So it does not have a geo flair. This is followed with government, which is another 10 12%. Then manufacturing, shared services, and other verticals, because the products are pretty horizontal. They're also sold in other use cases through partners and other things. That's the broader distribution, and this distribution remains very similar across all markets for us.
One challenge, even for a product company, and especially as you are focusing largely on banking across all the geos that you're seeing, different geos will have different compliances, and banking is a highly regulated industry. And the products, the same product then has to incorporate those different compliances, which varies across geographies. So how do you manage that?
See, generally at a product level, the compliances which are slightly more global, like in terms of PCI DSS, HIPAA, these are more global compliances, and all our products are certified to that. What is unique in geos around the domain is around the integration ecosystems. Like you have different core banking vendors in India, you may have different core banking vendors in US. Similarly, payment vendors can be different. So these are investments you have to make in any vertical if you are trying to sell successfully in those verticals. So luckily we have been in the market for a long. I think the ecosystems in India, Middle East, APAC, we have built huge integration partners and ecosystems out there for our solutions. US, we have more than 40 integration vendors we have already integrated for our banking systems. And similarly, we are so you're right, absolutely. It's an effort, but I think we have done that effort for most of our verticals, core verticals.
And what is the sort of the business model that you follow both for India as well as other geographies, in terms of direct and indirect?
So we are typically traditionally we have been direct sales company, and almost 80% of our revenue comes. But last 2 years we are trying to establish the whole partner ecosystem, the GSI global system integrator. We have got excellent relationships. Mature markets, our preference is to go through GSIs because of just the coverage and other verticals out there. Emerging markets also we are encouraging. So we are spending a lot of money and energy in partner ecosystem enablement, which is about helping them in sales processes, pre-sales, post-implementation, so that they're able to build competencies around products so that they can go and execute it better. So we expect that as the company grows, the share of partner revenue will keep on increasing. As any other global software product company, typically 60-70% of the revenue comes from partners. We are at a 20%. So I think that drift will start happening in the next 3-4 years.
You mentioned that every year 20% of your revenues are coming from newer customers. So, as a product company, while it is a challenge to do successful marketing and stuff, so what sort of marketing initiatives or strategies you have put in place in different geographies to attract these new names?
See, I think at the end, at the core of any software product company has a substantially R&D and a sales marketing company. So we have roughly around 280, 300 people sales and marketing team. So which is and most of our sales and marketing initiatives, while they are focused also on current year business, they're also focused on future business, building brand, building market presence, building analyst engagements, building influencer networks. So we have a very, very deep marketing ecosystem, right from lead generation to consulting to partner to system integrators. So as any product company, I think the marketing and sales functions are quite deep because they are trying to influence markets where you have not operated or verticals we have not operated. So our core investments in marketing are about our own lead generation. Then they are around more about influencers, and that means analysts and other people in that. We do participate in a lot of global events, and that's another big area of investment. Then our customer workshops, seminars, events are another set of a lot of events are happening in that. Digital plays a very important part. I think we keep on enhancing and investing in digital. All these together, then there's a direct sales investment, which is a very large investment of hiring talent in geos to go and execute sales processes.
Okay. And in terms of overall, if we look at what will be I'm looking for the names of the top three or the top five customers that you have.
You see, generally we are not. I think team can help you with the names where we are afraid to share. We can share some of those names with you. But broadly saying, in emerging markets, we have all the top accounts in that countries, especially in the verticals we are operating. And we'll have almost 90% of the banks and insurance companies as customers. Of course, our penetration in each account may not be at the same level. Some places we may be thin and some places we may be deep. But we are very proud that our ability to service those customers and go deep has been established in many of such accounts. We have customers where there are more than 5,000, 10,000 users using the system every day. Our customers say that we are almost the second most important system beyond core in a bank, which that's the kind of coverage. So almost all marquee names in emerging markets are that. In mature markets, we are still operating at the tier two customer level. We have not got many, so we have got some Fortune 500 names out there, but still our go to market is on typically banks which are in the mid segment rather than the top segment.
And since you mentioned about this broadening the depth of engagement with the existing customers, my question is, when you are saying 20% revenues from new business every year, so how do you balance there between greenfield clients and other existing clients where you are just looking to broaden that depth of engagement? How is do you balance between the
We have
two?
absolutely two go to markets out there. Existing account sales is a very separated team for us, which is typically looking at mining and deepening the client relationships. They have a very different go to account plan, and new logo acquisition is a very different sales pursuit for us. We believe that for product companies, account acquisition is very critical for the long term growth because as you are having sticky relationships, your ability to leverage these relationships over long term is going to be existing. So you have to balance your focus on maximizing potential in account vis-a-vis building for long term future. So that's why for this company, account acquisition is very important. We do have a history of having more like 50 to 60 new logos every year, and then there is a potential of mining from existing customers. We are typically able to our revenue retention rates vary from 100 to 107% in terms of from existing accounts, and then next part of growth comes from the new logos which we have gotten in the same year.
And looking forward, if we look at the next, say, 18 to 24 months, so about 7-8 quarters, what are going to be the key focus areas? That can be verticals, new technologies, new marketing strategies, geographies. What are going to be the focus areas?
See, at the top level, our core focus right now on go to market is establishing presence in mature market. That's where investments are at. But on the returns and the business outcomes, right now we think India, Middle East, APAC will be the growth drivers for us for next 8 years. And we see a lot of tailwind out there. We don't see any reason why they should slow down. I think there is no challenge coming in terms of any external factors out there. On the product side, we still find that the core verticals where we are operating, they will exactly follow the same curve because banking, financial services are the biggest spenders. They will continue spending, so they will grow. But we are also investing in verticals of which are slightly going broader in enterprise in terms of beyond shared services. We want to get into core enterprise space, and those are investments which will take some time to show results. But I think if you say next 8 quarters, the revenue distribution may not change drastically. It may be similar, as well as still the dominant revenue coming from financial services and banking.
And one question which asked earlier, but still I'd like to repeat for recording. In terms of employees, with now automation coming in more and more, would you look at some rationalization in terms of manpower resources?
So you see, I think we are right now in a very high growth momentum. Last 2 quarters, we have been growing at about 30% year-on-year growth, and
Okay.
we do think that we should be able to do better than our traditional growth rates as a company. In fact, we have hired all the campus offers which we had given last year, more than 400. They're already on board. We are, in fact, going for campus in this year and increasing that number further. So we are in the growth stage, and we are not in typically. And a lot of work which we do is around implementing our own products. So they are not in numbers. We are not deploying hundreds of people at a. We have the efficiency of GenAI. On the other hand, what we are looking forward that the new technology, especially on the generative AI, how do we accelerate our innovation cycles, or how can we provide better value to customer faster, which will again further open our business. So right now we are not looking at any rationalization of manpower or manpower cost. We are still in the group.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.